So I think I'm gonna kind of treat this as like a test video because I noticed whenever I was editing the last video for the channel that it kind of sounded like I was in a cave. All of the reverb that was happening before any kind of audio corrections. And that is obviously because I'm in a bigger space. So I got a new $20 microphone off of Amazon, and we're going to try it for this video to see if it improves the audio quality at all. So you all will have to let me know in the comment section. But to catch you all up a little bit on what I've been doing. So I was finally able to find the new Playline Allen doll at Target. He is so handsome. I love this new face sculpt. I really think that they definitely captured the essence of the original Allen face sculpt from the 1960s, just with modern technology. He's got a lot more detail, especially whenever you look at his hair. Like, look at all those individual strands of hair that they had sculpted for him. It looks so nice. And for his facial sculpt, like his nose, it kind of like has an upward turn, just like the original Alan. I love his cute little smirk. And one thing that I kind of wish they would have done is I wish they would have made like a chase version of this guy that kind of had his like, his cocked eyebrow like the original Alan doll had. He kind of had like a almost mischievous look to him. But I understand why they gave him neutral eyebrows in this new release. And he is so handsome. I love his facial screening as well. I love the side glance that they gave him. His brown eyes and the thicker eyebrows are also very handsome. Um, so, unfortunately, this guy has a very hard to find skin tone for Mate's Move. He uses the man bun Ken from BMR 1959. That's what I have him on, because he's got a very light skin complexion. So a lot of people are scrambling to find an articulated body for this guy, but that is literally the only option we have as of now. I think that the Crystal Caves Ken also had like the Superman body, like the buff body in his skin tone, but he had painted on tattoos, I think, or like his arms are black. They're meant to be either his sleeves or tattoos. I'm not sure. I don't have that guy. Um, but yeah, Alan is very handsome, and as you can see, I have him modeling Andrea's new outfit that I had received from her. I love this outfit, and it looks great on the Ken body. This is the original body type. Um, Now, I don't know, like, I don't think that Alan's going to be the guy I have wearing this, but I just wanted to model it on a Ken doll for this video. And I almost feel bad covering up this sweater. I think the sweater is so cute on its own, so I might pair the jacket with something else actually that I don't mind hiding as much. The pants fit so well. I found these kind of grayish blue shoes for him that look good with this outfit, but I love it. And I'm so happy that I was finally able to find him at Target. Unfortunately, he's got the pixelated facial screening, but speaking of Ken dolls and dolls that don't have pixelation, I did pick up the two holiday Ken dolls that I wanted from this year. Now, I didn't care enough to actually make an unboxing video of them. Honestly, there's not much new that I can provide to the conversation, I feel like, because I'm just so disappointed in the execution of the Holiday Ken dolls because I had such a high hopes for them. Because I was like, they're going to be the first ever Holiday Ken dolls. I mean, there's no way they can screw it up. There's no way Mattel can screw this up. I don't know what I was thinking. Whoever was designing the holiday Ken dolls for this year was extremely lazy whenever it came to the face sculpt selection. Like, all the dolls in the holiday Ken collection all use existing face sculpts with very similar facial screenings that they've had in the past. One of them, the black guy, he even just used a Barbie fashionista face sculpt with the same facial screening that the Barbie fashionista doll came with. And they couldn't even give it a name on the Mattel Creations website. But to be fair, they mislabeled every single one of the Holiday Ken dolls face sculpts on the Mattel Creations website. None of them had their names listed. There was a real evident lack of care that just made me very sad as somebody who collects Ken dolls and was looking really forward to this release. But I did get Brandon, who they have listed as Barbie Looks sculpt on the website, but this is the Brandon sculpt from Barbie Looks. And I got him because I really wanted another doll with the Brandon face sculpt, and he does recycle the facial screening from the original Barbie Looks Brandon. Just he has a lighter skin tone. He's got the warm ivory skin tone, which is that sort of yellowish skin tone that we don't have a single body donor for yet. Um, like people have been using New Nutra, like Sean from Barbie Looks for him, but it's just too pink. We don't have one that's yellow enough for him. But even with the recycled facial screening, I think he looks different enough to warrant me adding him to the collection. Because he's got a lighter skin complexion, they gave him a lighter lip tone, and he does have rooted hair, unlike the original Brandon, who had flocked hair. And they did give these guys like a sort of a fade on the side, but no flocking, which is unfortunate. I guess you could do that yourself if you wanted to. Um, the only other use of Brandon was in the Barbie the movie line. They had the um, God, I forget the actor's name, but he's one of the Asian Kens in the movie, and Carlisle had chose to use a Brandon face sculpt for that guy, and it looked bad. I hated that doll. Like, because they had used the pixelation for his facial screening, the screening just looked really fuzzy, and I didn't even like the art direction with it anyway, because it literally just looked like they took the purple top Made Smooth Barbie's facial screening and put it on a Ken doll. It was bad. I didn't like him, and I was not going to pay $50 for him. But I like this guy. I think he's handsome. I think because I have two Brandas now, maybe I'll give one of them facial hair. But yeah, I think he was worth adding, especially whenever Asian Ken dolls are so hard to come by. Good Asian Ken dolls, you know. I also decided to pick up the Hispanic guy from the line who uses the Julio face sculpt. And Julio was first introduced on the King of the Ocean Ken doll that was like a fan vote Barbie a few years ago. And a lot of people missed out on that guy. So I thought that this is really the only justifiable one for me out of the whole line, reuse, because this gives a lot of people the opportunity to own this face sculpt that missed out on the, oh, I'm sorry, King Ocean Ken is what it was called, doll from a few years ago. And he's basically got the same exact skin tone as King Ocean Ken. Of course, he's got shorter hair. They all have the same hairstyle, basically. Well, I mean, this guy kind of has just slicked back hair, but then this guy has a little bit of like a bump, like a bouffant in the front. So they're a little different in that regard. Um, but his facial screening is also very similar to the original Julio. And on the website, they just call this King Ocean Ken sculpt, which is wrong. This guy does have a name. They all have names, except for the fashionista guy, which they could have given a name. But this Julio has the same exact eye screening, except they had changed the catch light a little bit to a line instead of two dots. And they had also given him brown eyes, but his eyebrow shape is the same. Everything else is the same about him. So he's very, very similar to the King Ocean Ken doll, and I'm happy that they released him so that people who missed out on King Ocean Ken can have that opportunity to own this face sculpt in their collection now. Um, but speaking of holiday dolls, I did pick up the one holiday doll that I wanted from this year, which was Pazette. And I picked her up because I don't have Pazette in this skin tone. I actually only have one other Pazette that I know of in my collection. But I thought she was really, really beautiful. Only thing about these facial screenings is when they paint these eyelashes on their eyes, I wish they had a little bit more dimension to them. I wish they curved a little bit more instead of just like jutting out straight like spider legs. Um, but I still think she's beautiful. I think she's probably the best one out of the whole holiday collection this year. I love her neutral lipstick. I love this muted rosy color for her. It looks great with her skin tone. I love her subtle gold and like it's like a frosty eyeshadow. It's beautiful. I think her eye screening is very, very beautiful. And I love her sort of reddish brown auburn hair. And she's got a tanner skin complexion. And I believe I had used, oh geez, I don't even know whose body this is. Little hack for you all, if you didn't know this already. These little silver numbers on the back of Made to Move Barbie's bodies, if you plug those into Google, it'll usually pull up exactly where the body came from because the silver numbers correspond to like whatever release the doll was. So this one says R22HFDJY08. So whichever body that is who I use for her. It's not an exact match, but it's the closest one that I had in my collection. And as you can see, I kind of attempted to make a little skirt for her out of the dress fabric, which the dresses were hideous, like they are every year. But you can kind of see what I was going for. I'm gonna have to redo it because this is honestly the first ever article of clothing I've ever made for a Barbie that wasn't like socks. I've made socks before, but never like a skirt, and it just doesn't fit right. I need to take it in a little bit more around like the waist, and we ain't even going to talk about the back situation. Um, I did not make the jacket actually because I haven't seen anybody else point this out, but the fabric that was used on the dresses this year is almost the exact same as this Fashion Fever jacket that Mattel had released in the early 2000s. I mean, look how close they match. A lot of people were thinking I made the jacket. I didn't make the jacket. Mattel made this, so um, it's interesting how close they are. I mean, really, I feel like the dress, the glitter is a little bit more chunky, just a little bit more chunky on the dress than it was on the jacket that they had used in the 2000s. But the pieces go together really well, and like with a white top, some white boots, maybe like some gold stockings. I have some gold stockings I could give her. I think this could be a really cool look for her. Now, one other thing that I did do recently for my collection is a little bit evil and is something that I typically try not to do because I'm morally I don't like it, and that is flipping a new doll. So I had an extra Chase Midge and I flipped her on eBay. And my only way of justifying it is I used the money towards something else that I wanted for my collection, you know. Um, and I mean, she had been sitting in my car for months, and I had given Chase Midge to like all of my other friends that were having trouble getting her. So what I use the money towards is something that I feel like only a select few are gonna get. Um, so in the early 2000s, there was this website that was really popular for artists called DeviantArt. And I loved DeviantArt as a kid. I spent a lot of time on there. And I really think that DeviantArt is a relic of the era and of the past because you all know this, like you cannot get on any social media platform anymore without being absolutely bombarded by AI generated artwork. However, you feel about that, it's just how it is now. DeviantArt has received a little bit of a reputation because of the weird artwork that has been published on that website in the past, but there were a lot of great artists that got their start on DeviantArt, and I just love looking at it as a raw representation of the humanity that went into early digital art whenever the internet was first starting up, and a lot of people were really kind of struggling to decide, because there was a time where people really didn't consider digital art as real art because it wasn't physical art, and now look at it, we have AI art. So like it's crazy looking back on it, because I remember I had art teachers who were like, oh, you're drawing on a computer, that's not real art, like you're not actually painting it or drawing it on paper, so it's not real art. um, but now look at it. Like all somebody has to do is type a couple words into a computer to generate an image. So, I mean, back then, all the art that was released on DeviantArt, no matter how weird it was made by somebody. Anyways, I have a lot of fond memories whenever it comes to DeviantArt and early 2000s internet culture in general. So a lot of people don't know this, but did you know DeviantArt has a mascot, or had a mascot? I don't know if they still use him or not, but back then everybody had a mascot. But DeviantArt had this mascot called Fella. I don't know why his name was that. He was like a little robot cat guy. And in 2007, whenever I was 11 years old, they had released a plush of him that was available on the DeviantArt website. And I always wanted that guy. My family was absolutely hopeless whenever it came to ordering anything online or over the phone. And up until recently, uh, that plush, I've been looking at it online because he typically went for like $30 to $40 online, which isn't that bad, or wasn't that bad, until a YouTuber had released a video of like top most obscure plushes that you didn't know existed. And who else was featured on that video but the DeviantArt mascot plush? And ever since that video released, the prices have absolutely skyrocketed on eBay and Mercari and any website that you can imagine. Uh, and I hate that, because like my Pierogi stuff's been making a lot of Fashion Fever videos lately, and I'm worried that the prices are going to get even worse because of that. But I was able to use the money that I had made from Midge to finally get my DeviantArt Fella plush that I have been wanting since 2007. And I am so happy that I'm finally able to have this guy in my collection. Not only because he is adorable, and he matches the color scheme in my room, which the rest of my room is completely grayscale, but just because of him being a representation of the early 2000s internet. And like he's so adorable. Look at his thick, angry eyebrows. I think that's so cute. I love his eyes. He usually has a mouth in his artwork, but I love the fact that the plush doesn't have one. I think that makes him look cuter. And also, this is the original version, which has the old DeviantArt logo on it. Um, and the tag, you can see it is official DeviantArt merchandise. So happy to have this guy in my collection finally. He's so adorable. But the main thing that I want to look at in today's video is, as you can see it in the background back here, so I had a really good Facebook Marketplace find recently. I got this Juicy Couture Barbie set off of the Facebook Marketplace for only $50. And that's a good thing about this microphone, is because I can hold something in front of the camera, and because the audio is not being just picked up from the phone, the quality is not going to change. But yeah, I had wanted this set for a long time, but of course, this is very expensive typically, and I can never find it for a reasonable price. But $50 I feel like is worth it for this, especially whenever you get two dolls in it. But I'm going to open this up in today's video, so I'll show you all a good look at this packaging. The packaging is absolutely gorgeous. I'm not really sure what the story is on the aesthetic chosen for this. It kind of has almost like a like a UK vibe to it, almost like with the crowns and the ornate designs. This looks like a portrait of Queen Elizabeth in the background or something. I don't know why that is. Is Juicy Couture like an English brand or something? I don't know. I don't know anything about the history of the company. I wouldn't know they existed if it wasn't for Barbie, like a lot of things. But it's very beautiful, and like if I were to keep any Barbies in box, this is a beautiful, beautiful display as it is. So the back of the box reads, "Once upon a time in a land called Pacoima, there were two nice girls who liked stuff. Juicy Couture swept the land and they lived happily ever after." Simple as that. Pure, unapologetic consumerism. On the back of the box, it actually does have the different labels of Barbie Collector. They used to take Barbie Collector dolls a lot more seriously than they do now. So they actually have the different tiers of Barbie Collector dolls. It's even got this little guard on the back of it, like they're in a castle or something. Well, let me get these dolls out of the packaging so that we can get a closer look at them. So here I have these two straight out of their packaging, finally. I have been wanting to open up these dolls ever since I bought them a couple weeks ago. Now, I love both of these dolls, but this one is definitely my favorite. So I will save her for last. We'll take a look at this one first. So this one uses the Generation Girl Laura face sculpt, or the Anna face sculpt from Generation Girl, and I think she's pretty, but I have other Lauras in my collection that I like better, so I might part with this one in particular. I do love her smoky eyeshadow and neutral lipstick, and somebody actually started mowing outside, so I don't know how that's going to be picked up on this microphone. It does have noise canceling, but I guess we'll see how good that works in this video. But yeah, she's pretty, but you know, whenever you have a lot of dolls, you have to be picky sometimes. I like that they actually put some effort into styling her hair. Like they gave her um these side bangs with this diagonal cut. Mattel hates doing this anymore because it's so hard for production to make these look right, and they don't pay the people in the factory enough to make sure this looks perfect every single time anymore. So you don't see this ever in modern Mattel, these kind of bangs, except for somehow the Rebelde dolls got away with it. Somehow, I don't know. But luckily, these dolls don't have glue head. I was a little worried about that. They do have some product in their hair, but that can easily be washed out. They have real metal jewelry that is so amazing. They're not starting to get green ear just yet, but I'm definitely not going to be keeping this metal jewelry in their heads for much longer. But they've got real actual like rhinestones in their earrings. It's so gorgeous and extravagant. A real metal necklace with a small charm on it. This one says P and this one says C. CP. What could that stand for? Cheese pizza. What else? Um, and somebody already told me about this, so I anticipated it. These dolls were unfortunately from that time period where Mattel was sewing their collector Barbies into their outfits. That evil time period. Nothing a seam ripper can't fix, but I'd love to not have to do that. But their outfits are identical, but they're different colors. They're these beautiful dresses with layers and layers of ruffles. They're kind of sheer, but because they stack on top of each other, it makes it look like a solid color, and it's so gorgeous, so gorgeous outfit. And I'm going to use them for other dolls, whether they intended me to or not. Even the bracelets have real chain on them. I wonder how they even did that on the factory. The rings, the rings have an actual diamond in them. Goodness, there's so much detail in the stall. The shoes have a painted on logo on the front, and they have gold on the heel and underneath. Like, we could only dream of this quality in Mattel collector dolls nowadays. But sorry, Laura, my favorite in this collection is this one with the Generation Girl face sculpts. And I love her specifically because this facial screening looks just so different than any other Generation Girl in my collection. I love her exaggerated eyelashes. And this is what I was talking about whenever it came to Barbie facial screenings and how the eyelashes fan out. You see how her eyelashes are like, they're not going straight. They're like swooping, they're on a curve. But this newer Barbie, her eyelashes are just like straight. They're just sticking up all straight. Really hope my camera will be able to capture their facial screenings. But I like them both. I like them both, but I like it better whenever the eyelashes sort of have a little bit of character. Look like they're coming off of an eyeball and not like they're just like a sticker, on the eye. Um, but I love her reflective silver eyeshadow and the darker pink eyeshadow around it. There's so many different layers in her facial screening. She even has shading on her sclera that I love, and her eye color is this beautiful gray. I love her gray eyes and her eyebrows, her neutral lipstick color. Gosh, she's so beautiful. And her hair, I love this dark brown with these chunky blonde highlights. It's so awesome. Gosh, she's such a beautiful doll. She's got the same real jewelry on her that the other doll had, but the charm is different. The ring is a little different. The other one had a black and gold ring. This one has a white and gold ring. And the dress is, of course, this beautiful khaki color. Definitely need more neutral brown clothes in my collection, and I'm so excited for the next wave of Barbie basics that are going to be all brown and neutral. So happy they decided to do that. And her heels are also white instead of black, but they still have those gold accents, which is awesome. And she is going to look even more awesome whenever I upgrade her to a made to move body instead of this ugly, unarticulated Model Muse abomination. I'm kidding. Model Muse isn't ugly. I just, everybody's got their preferences for their Barbie dolls, and I apparently like for mine to look more like action figures, I guess, because it doesn't bother me, the joints. Now, they did come with a couple extra pieces. Like, they both came with these little, I thought these were like, you know, like those Russian arm warmers. I thought that's what these were, but they're actually these mini furry jackets, which are so cute. And the lining on the inside actually matches the doll's outfit. So I attempted to put it on her, but the jewelry, I didn't want the like metallic to start flaking off or anything. So that's that's kind of what it would look like. The dolls do come with one more hard accessory, which is this little perfume bottle. Really cute. Looks more like a novelty perfume bottle because it's kind of large, I feel like, for 1/6 scale. But it's cute. I wonder what it smells like. It's not scented or anything. I don't know why it would be. But that's cute. It'll be nice on the doll's wardrobe. But yeah, that was my short little update for today. So be sure to let me know, did you all pick up any of the holiday dolls from this year, and which ones did you end up getting? And have you found any good Facebook Marketplace scores lately? That's one place that a lot of collectors, I feel like, forget to check. But every now and then I will find a unicorn deal like this one. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy this content to help me out in the algorithm, and I'll see you all next time. Thank you so much. Bye.